This meeting.
Halo semuanya, selamat malam. Halo Sanggita semuanya, teman-teman. I'm with Sanggita tonight, and we are talking about, are you choosing more possibility?
Yes. And I can see some of my friends who I already know from before, like Octarina is here, Melanie is here. These people have been in our classes, yeah. So I
Mhm.
kinda know them. Hi Vidhi, thank you for putting on your camera.
Yes.
So yeah, it's such an interesting topic, no? Are you choosing more possibilities? So what do you get, guys? Are you choosing more possibilities?
And when you're talking about the possibility before I know access, I just shares possibility. That's kind of interesting, but is that true?
Like, am I really choosing possibility like that?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
I mean, like, is that too good to be true for the possibility?
You mean there are more possibilities like that?
Yeah. Are they just possibility just for some people, not me?
Yeah, I agree with you.
But for others, not me, kind of
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Or only this much is possible for me based on who I am, based on what I earn, based on whether I'm married, not married. If I have children, then only this much is possible for me. Yeah. And also, most of the time, we look for possibility based on what is available in this reality. Yang kita udah lihat, yang kita udah paham. Beyond that, we cannot think. We don't understand that there is something beyond that because we've never experienced it, right?
That,
So we always try, like, when we go for buffet, makan buffet itu, we choose from what is there. But we never think of asking, can the chef make something special for me? Yeah.
yes,
So we won't even ask. Because we pay for buffet, we think the buffet is there for us. We can choose from the buffet. So, and then depending on which hotel you go to, which restaurant you go to, the buffet is limited to their menu, right? But what if the universe was the chef that could make anything for you? And what if that didn't mean that you can also eat the buffet and you can also ask the chef? So
yes.
everything that brought up or let down, can we please destroy and uncreate it all? Yeah.
Right from the Papa Nation, Boys, Fafat, and Beyond. Okay. Now, Sanji, when you're talking also the possibility and something that we already know from this reality, for example, if I would like to have more possibility in money, I just go like, what the money class?
Yeah.
I already make it conclusion. That's my problem is money. So I go to the money class.
Yes,
So
that's so
linear.
cool. Yeah, yeah, you're right. So this is what we do, can we decide what is our problem, and then because based on our problem, we also decide what is going to solve it.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if I have money problem, I go to money class. If I have body problem, I go to class. If I have relationship problem, I go to relationship class. We never ask which class will contribute to changing my life. Which class will actually contribute to more possibilities in my life? Yeah.
Mhm.
When I got into Access, I used to do so many classes with Gary and Dean. Any new class, I would go. Any new class, I would go. Yeah. And then everybody used to ask me, Kan, this one you've already done. Why are you doing it again? I don't know. I get a ping, I join. And then this one, the topic excite me. I don't even understand sometimes because sometimes Gary's classes, the topic is so weird. I still join it, right?
Mm.
So they're like, but what are you going to learn? What are you going to, do you have a problem that will be solved by that? And I'd be like, but I'm not going to solve my problem.
Yes.
I'm just going because it's pinging. And sometimes when I would attend the class and then I would be like, I feel like I'm zoned out or I feel like I slept through the class, but my life would change,
That's true.
So no logical explanation, but my life would change. So when I ask, like, what is it? Like, your body and your being energetically knows where it is and what it is that you can choose to shift when you make a choice. For example, I choose to be, I don't want to have any more money problems. So let's say I choose that I will be abundant. I choose that I will be empowered. And then I go and join a body class. I don't have any body problem, but I join a body class. And then when people are working on my body, somehow I will make money. I will make more money. And before I know it, how, yeah, like 3 months later, 6 months later, my relationship with money will be so different from when I joined that body class,
That's true.
right? Because I just follow the energy. So many times it happens like that, right? So the interesting thing is that so many times when I was like early in the beginning, pas baru masuk access, my problem was how can I be a good mother? How can I be not a depressed mother? I didn't want
Mm.
to be a depressed mother. I wanted to be a happy mother. I wanted to be there for my children.
Mhm.
Anak saya masih kecil sekali loh, we were very small. Tapi I
Mhm.
was so desperate to be a good mother because I thought I was not a good mother. Then I thought that if I'm not a good mother, kasihan, they will grow with trauma. Then if they have trauma, they will grow up into traumatic individuals. Jadi adult yang mesti pusing like me, go from one class to another, yeah. So I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like my mom because my mom was so not present with me. Then if I'm like that with my kids, kasiano, they will have these kind of problems, right? And then
Mm.
also the guilt, like I don't want my children to go through what I went through. But every class that I went to, the facilitator only asked me one question. What capacity do you have with entities? Sampai I wanted to book, somebody. I am proud to be a good mom. Why the hell are you asking me about entities? And then I was like, something like that. And then I was like, okay, but I resisted it. I just kept resisting it. Then
Mm.
one day, like I was just sitting and I was like, I had a little bit of a trauma with my children. And what used to happen is that something would happen, I'd get angry with my kids, and then I would feel so guilty about being angry with my kids that
Mhm.
I would spend the whole night crying about it. So my partner at that time would say, "You're so silly. First, you get angry, you scream at the kids, then you cry. Jadi, what should I handle, the kids or you? Like, what would you do? So pusing. Like, who do I handle? And then when I'm in the guilt, all I want to say is sorry to the children. Tapi, ya udah, it's lewat because I've already screamed. I've already said nasty things. I've already done nasty things. Like, one day I actually locked my little child in the bathroom because I was so kesel. I was like, now it is so fun. But after that, if I feel guilty and I take him out also, pokoknya the trauma has already happened, no? So now I
Yes.
have the guilt of the trauma as well. The
Yeah.
guilt of doing it, the guilt of traumatizing him, and then I cannot sleep at night. The whole time I'm just thinking about what a mess, what a mess, what a mess.
Mhm.
Okay, run bars, okay, run clearing, okay, do everything. It would change for a bit and then, I would be back again the next day,
Mm.
scream again, shout again. So one day I was like, okay, I'm done. I cannot do this anymore, whatever it will take. If my facilitator said do entity class, okay, I will do entity class. Never mind, okay? And it's so interesting. I went and did entity class and it was so cool. I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand anything. First entity class, I didn't understand anything. I just said, okay, whatever it is, I've learned the tools, I will just clear. But on your 3 days, no fighting, Lou, with my children. And I was like, how is
Mm.
that possible? Right? Then
Mhm.
I was like, okay, done. Okay, this has changed. Then Tatonya, after the fifth day, whoa, one more time, trauma like that. And I'll be like, what is going on? Right? That's when I like actually took out the manual again and then went through the tools again, listened to the recording again. Because I went to class, but I was still resisting the class.
Yeah.
Then I repeated it, and then I actually went and did another entity class. I just got lucky because one of the teachers asked me to host her. So I said, okay, I just did the class, I can host her. So I
Mhm.
hosted her and I did the class again. And then it got to me, oh, I have a capacity. And that's one of the ways the entities try to get my attention.
Missions. Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, you know what? I will do this work, but no, not through my children. You cannot do that.
Hmm.
And I was also becoming aware. Every time have a trauma with my kids, before I react, I was like, okay, is this mine, someone else, or entities? What's going on? And past I know it's entities, I will clear. And then, Tautanya, everything between me and my kid shifted, and at such a deeper level. It was like not just the getting angry with them, but this whole thing of not wanting to be a bad mother, thinking I'm a bad mother, feeling guilty about being a bad mother, thinking that I will push my children to depression and trauma. None of it was mine. None of it was mine. Right?
Yes.
The more I work with my capacity, the lighter everything got. And that was the starting point. And then so many other things changed. And like, I was like, oh, like, like what I thought was impossible, what I thought will never change, what
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I don't know what I'll have to do to change it. Just by saying yes to my capacity, everything began changing. Yes, I had to use the tools. Yeah, I always tell everybody in my class, the tools work 200%, but you have to use it 100%. You don't get to take a break from consciousness. If you know running the bars eases you, creates space for you, and you don't run your bars, that means you don't like ease and space. If
Everything that brings up, everything that brings up, right from the web of online short voice for both as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know how many people over here know, maybe those who have been in my class know, of course, Vena knows this, that when I got into Access, I was diagnosed with bipolar, apa sih? Somebody forgot. What is it called?
Bipolar. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's called bipolar disease. And I was on 10 pills. And when I started doing Access, I started meeting the right doctor, the right psychologist, and everything. But when I started clearing entities, my medicines kept reducing until one day, over 10 months, my doctor told me I don't have bipolar anymore. And that's never happened. When you have a mental disorder, it's considered a mental disorder. You can only have medicines to suppress the symptoms, but you cannot change it. But my doctor said that there was no bipolar because it wasn't mine, which is why one of the invitation of Talk to the Entities is let's educate, not medicate. Okay? Because so much of your symptoms are not, it's not you, but we are not taught. Okay, if it's not mine, then okay, someone else, okay, I can return. But if it's entities or it's the earth, what do I do? Okay, with the earth, I do earth contribution. But if it is entities, what do I do? Right? This is something that's not taught. I think it should be taught to everybody because tell me why it should be taught to everybody. Does anybody know why? Because there are more beings without body on the planet than there are with body. Mau nggak mau, ada 5 hantu yang stick to your bump, wherever you go. And you are affected by it. So if you supposing you walk into a room where everybody is sad, won't you feel sad? At least for 5 minutes, you'll feel sad, kan? Kenapa sih everybody is so sad? I feel so sad. Tahu-tahunya because everyone is sad, right? Like when someone passes away, if you enter just to condole aja, you terasa, right? The sadness, right? Imagine you live on a planet which is covered with beings that are lost, frustrated, angry that nobody can see them, angry that nobody can hear them, upset because they are still stuck in the past. They feel confused. What will you feel if you're in a planet full of confused beings? But nobody teaches us that. So what do we say? I am confused. I am depressed. I am upset.
I
And then
have
when
a
you say
problem.
I, yeah.
Yes,
Then when you say I, what do? You have to fix it. Tapi, you do this, you do this. It doesn't go away. It goes away for a while. It comes back again. It goes away for a while. It comes back again.
that's true. So my experience with the entities is I just acknowledged when I would like to start my business, I keep like the energy like doubt myself. I didn't trust myself. Can I or I don't have any skill in the business or kind of that the feelings, emotion and thinkings. And then after I took the talk entities with Sanji and Ryan at that time,
Right.
both of you, both of you when
Oh,
you
you
did it.
resisted it so much. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I was so resisting that class there.
yeah.
You know,
Even
I
before
just
I
host
took the
you.
Ryan,
Yes,
yes.
I'll just host you. I don't want to participate in the class. Okay, I don't want to do this. I'm just happy to create the class for you. And after that class, Tautonya, she became CF, TTTECF, body, body process CF. No stopping you, yeah, Fena.
Yeah. So after that aku baru tahu there's my ancestors, my opa yang near me. My opa have the experience in his life that someone is cheating him, and then he feel like so sad, and he doesn't want me to get like cheating by someone else when doing the business. So that's impact me when I would like to start my business, when I would like to start my yeah to kind of about creating a business.
Yeah,
So get
yeah,
impact to my money problem situation
yeah,
and about the power also. I didn't trust myself.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, okay. And after that, my like I can see clears about the energy and I just like perceive a lot of things. And when I attend the talk to entity intermediate with Shannon and you, and when I'm like translating your class, I just aware at the time it's like my internet is shut down. I just like ping a lot of entities and you ask me, do I have the capacity to facilitate a group entities? I just like, damn, that's so powerful. Not just
yeah.
one.
Yeah, a lot of people have this question, why should I do this class?
Yeah.
No, there is no why and there is no must. It is just for you if you're here, if you are curious, if you are afraid, if you have like little bit of excitement, or you're like, no, 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 I don't want to do it. You resist it. Well, I don't want to talk to Hantu like that. If you feel like that, or like, no, no, I'm scared. That means there's something you know about it, but you are resisting it. And if you're excited a little bit, if you like when I was a small kid, I used to love watching ghost movies, even though I get scared. I used to love watching it. I'll watch it like this. But I'll watch it, and then I will feel scared, and then everybody will scold me, why you watch that thing? But I really enjoyed it. And
Yes.
then I'd be like scared to go to the bathroom also, like, after that at night. Kalau lampu mati, I don't want to get out of my bed. Like, of course, I was scared, but I still watch it. So if you guys are like curious about, like, if you, as a child you were curious about graveyards, you wanted to hear ghost stories, you wanted to hear a story about different entities and beings that don't look like human, chances are you have a capacity with entities. But how do we know? Yeah, how do we know? I always tell people that, A, you just have to ask, do I have a capacity with entities? If I wasn't resisting, yes or no? Okay. What will my life look like in 5 years if I just say yes to my capacity? Okay. Then if you get space, then the second question I always ask is, okay, if I've tried every tool to change my problem and it's not changing, is it entity related? Because if it's entity related, then obviously I have to deal with the entity because it's not me, it's not someone else, it is entity. And this, for me, the talk to the entity class, memang, it started with having to deal with entities, beings without bodies, and also because I wanted to change my equation with my children. But actually, doing the class itself was such a gift because all the work that I did with entities, it's not a one-way street. It's not like I just clear the entities or I just communicate with entities. In the process of working with entities, they open something. When you say yes to your capacity, they open something in your capacity, in your practice with it, that then translates to how you deal with everything in life, with everyone in life. I was the kind of person who could never say no to people. I couldn't
Mhm.
say no. So even if I had so much work, if somebody told me, can you do this for me? I will say yes. Then I will cry, why did I say yes? But I don't want to say no, right? But when I started working with entities and they would wake me up at 3 in the morning, I'll be like, no, sorry, I have
Yes.
to sleep. I will deal with you tomorrow. Right. And then I realized they listen, though. And then I was like, oh, then I don't know. When I could create my boundaries with entities, suddenly I found myself saying no to people also. I'm sorry, I can't do it today. Oh, I'm sorry, you'll have to take an appointment. I'm sorry, this is not possible for me. My
Yes.
life just got lighter, you know? And I was like, holy shit, this is one capacity that when you gift, you get gifted to as well. Because to be able to communicate with entities or do the entity work, you have to step up. And when you step up, you have to step up with everything in your life. It
That's
cannot be just with entities.
yes, that's true. There's a participant that asked me, uh, that entities keep coming. What should I tell the entities? I said, if you don't want to talk, just say you don't want. Just come when you do the business hours or kind of that. So your presence being like you demand for you creating your life
Yeah,
that you give respect to yourself so the entities could respect for you too. I mean, like this is the powers that you didn't give it to yourself.
yeah, yeah. And like, you know, when you're working with something that you're not used to, like, you know, you can't see them and they don't look like people like this, you may get the energy. You have to work, you have to your, push beyond your five senses, you know. So you have to activate other senses, which is your awareness. Now you cannot be just what I see. I have to ask, what do I sense? What do I perceive? Right? So it's beyond your five senses. It's not just what I can see, what I can hear, what I can taste, and what I can touch, because I can't touch the entities, but I can sense them, right? Yeah, all of us have different capacities. Some of us can hear, some of us can smell it, some of us can see. Actually, there are people who can also see ghosts, right?
Mm.
But still, even when you see ghosts, like you have to sort of push yourself beyond what you know about communication, because they don't communicate the same way like people do. Then you have to know, like, what does it feel when, oh, let's do an exercise, Fen. How about that with everybody? Hey,
Huh?
guys, okay, how many of you are scared of entities? First, tell me that. It's one topic that you resist. How many of you? Well, everything else in access, but not entities. Ada nggak? Oh, nggak ada ya. No one takut. Aduh, I like it.
Sometimes
Oh, Widhi is scared. Okay, okay. Who
I
else
have
is
the
scared?
class already, but sometimes I still feel like
Ah,
Like a little bit of jitter, like that. Sometimes.
yeah, when I sense them, I'm like, can I manage to like handle them? Like, can I manage to clear them? Can I manage to like understand
yeah.
them?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like that doubt, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, first thing, let us all relax. You have Fenna and you have me. So, I promise you, if you do this exercise, nobody will die and nobody will be captured by entities. Nobody will be possessed by entities because Fenna and me are here. Okay, so don't worry. Okay. But if you still think, oh, I don't want to do it, no problem. You don't have to do it. Okay. This is just experiment. Okay. So, all of us, can we all just relax, take a couple of deep breaths, and push your barriers down, right? I said that there are more entities on the planet than beings with bodies, okay? So, whether we like it or not, we are impacted by them. Whether we want to acknowledge it or not, we are impacted by them, okay? So, let's just experiment. Push down all your barriers right now. Just breathe and just ask, okay, how many entities are there in my room right now? You don't have to get a number, but just get a sense. Are there entities around me right now? Yes or no?
Sedikit, banyak, or banyak sekali?
Yeah, is there little, a lot, or megatons?
Megatons.
Another way of asking this question is, right now in my relaxed state, how many entities am I actually aware of? A few, a lot, or megatons? Okay, cool. Now we're gonna do something scary, okay? Okay, up to you. If you wanna risk, like, you know, it's like going on the roller coaster for the first time. Tapi after you go on the first time, you're never scared again, kan? So
Yeah.
let's do this, okay? This is the roller coaster ride, okay? So let's ask for all the entities that are around you that you are aware of. Can you ask them, come closer to my body? Uh, don't freak out. Come closer to my body. Don't freak out. If you resist, it's just a barrier. Push it down. Okay. Okay. I promise you, Fena and me are there. We're protecting you. Don't worry. No entity is going to capture your body unless you want them to. Okay. So then, of course, you can call us. We'll facilitate you. Okay. So relax. Now tell all the entities, step away 6 feet away from my body. Just 6 feet away. Okay, can you feel the difference? Is there a difference when they were close and when they were away? Okay, let's do it again. Okay, one more time. Come, you're playing, right? Another round. Wow. First time roller coaster, I tutup mata, jadi I don't get the rasa. This time I'm going to open my eyes, okay? So, okay, all the entities, come closer to me. All the entities that I'm aware of, that are around me, just come closer and like, ugh, you can feel the ugh. Okay, thank you. Now, can you all just move away 6 feet from me? 6 feet. You can even ask them to leave your room. All right, guys, you know what? Leave my room. Okay. Do you feel difference in the energy? Is
Okay.
there a
Oh,
difference?
yes.
Yeah? Oh my God, Cheryl said yes. Anybody else, Vidhi? You were so scared. Did you feel a difference or not?
Yanka, do you feel difference?
No, feel different.
It just feel the same?
Yeah, feel the same.
Okay. So what are your point of view about entities? Tell me.
It's scary.
Scary.
The first time I read the book TTE, once I read the part of Senan going to somewhere to the class, I think Texas something which there is it was perbudakan di situ. Setelah baca itu saya sakit kepala 3 hari dan sampai sekarang saya nggak berani lagi baca TTE. So even though TTE I refuse a lot. Jadi
Okay.
3 hari saya sakit kepala.
Okay.
And then how did it get okay after 3 days?
Minum obat.
Oh, makan obat. Okay, suppressing the awareness. Okay, no problem. Like most people, so Vidhi, we'll just facilitate you also. But for most of you, you felt heavy when the entities were near,
It is here.
and then you felt space when the entities went away, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You could sense that. Two things. First, you did sense entities, right? Because they felt like a certain energy and then they went away. So you are aware of entities. Everybody can give themselves a pat on the back. Oh yeah, I'm aware. At least you can acknowledge that much, Ro. You can clap for yourself. Okay, I am aware. Maybe I don't want to deal with them. That's step two, no problem. But I am aware because when they were near me, I felt a certain way. When they went away, I felt a certain way, right? Now, the second thing to acknowledge, gila ya, they listened to me ya. Mamain ya. They came
Yeah.
close and then they went away lagi. Oh, so easy. So that means they're not more powerful than me. Yeah? Yeah, how many of you? See, Leela is smiling so much. It's so light in her world. Langsung, oh yeah, they
Unless we did.
listen.
Unless we did.
Okay,
But
cool. Yeah, Vidhi, don't worry. We will get you there as
yeah.
well. Relax, Saja, okay?
Yes.
So first, Vidhi, everything you experience with talking to the entities, and everything you decided about talk to the entities, and everywhere you've decided, no need lah, nanti sakit kepala again. Can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Kalau nggak kepala, pokoknya sakit. Can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Yeah, right, wrong, good, bad, 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 all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. I'm going to ask you a crazy question, okay, Vidhi? And you can just this is not about convincing you that the class is for you. You don't have to attend, talk to the entities. You can just come meet me. I would love to see you when I'm in Indonesia. You don't have to do any class, right? But just for your awareness, when you like that headache, now I want you to remember that headache, okay? Now I'm going to just ask you a question. Truth, was that headache an awareness or a resistance to my awareness?
Resistance to my awareness.
Awesome. Okay. Everything that brought up a letdown. Can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong,
Yes,
good, but
yes.
shots, boys, and beyonds. Pokoknya whether it's entities or it's anything in the world, if you resist an awareness, pasti sakit. You know how much energy it takes to not be aware of something. Let's say you're in a difficult relationship. You know that it's not good for you. If you ignore it, it's tambah sakit.
In pain.
Every
Yeah.
day you think about it, and then you have to push it under the carpet. Tambah sakit. But if you can just acknowledge, wow, I'm in a shitty relationship, then once I acknowledge it, I can go, okay, what do I do about it? Can I change it? Can I choose something else? What tool can I use to shift the energy? Right? Then now I open to more possibilities. Right? So when we go back to the time when you resisted, just acknowledge, wow, yeah, that headache was my resistance to entities. Okay, no problem. Every entity that I resisted in that moment, if I just receive the awareness, what would it be like for me right now? Just push your barriers down and just receive means that energy is still in front of you because that energy never went away, right? That awareness never went away. You just resisted it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that story was about Shannon attracting a certain kind of entity. Okay. So how many of that kind of entities were pinging and poking at you in that moment? A little, a lot, or megatons?
A lot.
Okay. Now you tell that entities just right now tap into that and go like, oh yeah, I resisted you, yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna resist you, but I don't know how to deal with you. So find another facilitator dong, until I learn. Or
Okay.
you wait for me to learn.
Yes. And how many entities that would like to give you something that you resist?
A lot.
No, and now who resists entity?
Not allowed to receive from entities.
Never. Right?
You will take your soul.
See, look at how beautifully Vidhi is smiling right now, yeah. So Vidhi, are you still scared of entities, or is it a little more like less scared, more exciting? A little bit.
Less care, yeah.
Thank you for willing to,
Sama-sama.
yeah. And now if you were like, okay, now when you say, okay, entities, I don't know, I still don't know the tools, I don't know how to deal with you, can you either get me to a class with ease, or in the meantime, just go to another entity? See what does that do? Choba. Is your space lighter? Is your body lighter?
My body lighter.
Can you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Oh, can you acknowledge that?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Please clap for yourself, okay? Please pat your back. The thing is, we decide, oh, I cannot feel anything. Padahal, actually, we are so fast. We sense it so quickly, and then we have to slow ourselves to like explain, oh yeah, this is how I felt. Actually, we are so quick. You know, I have a very interesting story of, once I was in an access class, I wanted to do all the tools correctly. I must learn it correctly. I must use it correctly, good student. Kan? In school also, I was a good student, like Rajin, like, practice like that. So I said, okay, access also, pasti I have to practice Rajin. So, every time the teacher say barriers down, I susah sekali. Like, I don't know how to do barriers down. Padahal I already follow the steps.
Yeah.
Barriers down, cannot, barriers down, barriers down, cannot. After the third class, I was in a right voice for you class. So frustrated that I scream, I said, I don't know how to do barriers down. I cannot do it. Yeah, something kasal like that. My teacher, she laughed at me so much. Susanna Mitimaya was my teacher. She laughed at me so much. She asked me, Sangeeta, do you have any barriers? I said, well, it feels like no, yeah. So she said, when I ask you to put barriers down, what do? I say, first I put it up, then I have to put it down.
So you put it up and then you put it down because
So
you
how
don't have
many
the
of,
barriers.
yeah, because I have to follow the rules, right? The teacher said barriers. So I have to first put it up and then I put it down, right? Because I'm
Yes.
generally very without barriers. I like walk around the world like an open wound, you know. I'm willing to meet anybody at any place, have any conversation. So I don't have too many barriers. I like to connect with people, with things, with animals, with trees, everything. I don't have that sense of I need to be protected. Jadi, I'm genuinely like curious, like when I meet somebody new. I don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't talk to this person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm two barriers down for my own good, you know, when I should have barriers. I don't know. But like, you know, so when the teacher told me that, I said, oh yeah, how many times are we using the tools against us? How many
Yeah.
times are we already there? But because it feels so natural to us, we think we don't feel anything.
Doesn't work. Yeah,
But we're not feeling anything.
it doesn't work. Yeah. For me,
Yeah.
when who does it belong to, getting heavier, and heavier. And like, what the fuck? They said like, who does it belong to? And then disappears the energy. Why I'm getting heavier and heavier? Because I would like to know, who does it belong to? Oh, this one, this one, this one. So I would like to know more. So I sing the tools to know more. Who does this belong to?
Yeah. But is there anyone else who feels like that? Because we have a very exciting tool, Lo, for that. Like if you feel heavier
Yes.
after you say who does it belong to, then the
Yeah.
question you need to ask is this mine?
It is mine.
And then
Yeah.
you'll get no, okay, then you stay with that.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
Because when we
So
say that if you are very, very sensitive to energy, or if you are autistic, or if you are an X-Men, when you say who does it belong to, you will become aware of everybody that it belongs to.
that's true.
8,000 miles. So, oh my God, intensity is so heavy. And with
That's true.
these, like, you know, that's what happens to me. Yes.
Yeah. So I
And then
get the
I'll be
experience like
like,
that.
this tool
That's
doesn't
true.
work for me. Throw it away. Fuck it. Yeah.
Yes.
But actually, what it's
Yes.
like, oh, okay. Like when I ask who does it belong to, I can tap into everybody that it belongs to. Okay, is this mine? No. Okay, return to sender.
True. This one.
You know, someone else, something else, and then you return to sender, right?
Yes.
So, apalagi ya? Where else do you guys want to go? Who has any question? Like, I'm just gonna see the chat, Defena. Where do you want to go next with this? Do people have questions? Do you guys want to ask us something? Do you guys have any questions about uh anything? You
Yeah.
can ask us anything. You can also ask us, okay, how has your life changed with Access? What happened to you? Why did you come to Access? Any question, everything is allowed call.
I have
This
something like maybe not related.
okay, sure, go for it.
So the other, like somehow I met this person who channels a being, like a starseed family, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's a chance meet like that. And then I followed the meditation that she did yesterday, like a channeling meditation.
Yes.
It was like I could feel like the heat and the resistance, and like I just want to know like what is the thing about this starseed thing? Do you know anything about it, or like, or is like entities as well, right?
Yeah, because in Talk to the Entities, we talk about the beings of light.
Ah, so they're beings of light.
Yeah.
Ah,
And there are different beings of light, and the beings of
Yes.
light are here to work with us and through us to create a greater planet, right? But the one thing that to have access to the beings of light, or for the beings of light to be able to access you, you really have to work on dropping your judgments about yourself. You have to drop doubt. You have to drop trust. You know, you have to start trusting. You have to say yes to what you're aware of. You have to say yes to your capacities. Then they can use your capacities for the greater consciousness, right? So when I joined Access, when I did talk to the entities, first time was so that I get some relief, because when I clear entities, I didn't fight with my children. So I felt, oh, good, this is a great tool. If I don't want to create trauma with my kids, I just have to keep clearing entities. And in the meanwhile, I also work on my points of view about being a mom, being a good mom. Of course, I use all the tools, bars, asking question, everything that I learned from the foundation, right? So for the longest time, I felt that I have to do clearing entities. I have to, because when I don't clear entities, I feel intense, or I create trauma, or I create drama, or like too many entities. Because I have a capacity, entities come to me. If I don't clear, I feel heavy, or like I will cry, or I will feel depressed, or whatever that is, right? So I was like, this is a tool that I have to use if I want lightness. Okay.
Same.
So it's okay if you feel like that. It's okay. But when I continued working, when I continue doing the work, because it's also okay to do something that gives you lightness, right? It's not, everything is not only, I'm only going to do it to become this contributing person in the world. At that time, I had too many problems. I didn't think I was a contribution. I thought I was totally fucked up. And I just wanted to be able to live my life in peace. I wanted to cry a little less. I wanted to love my children a little more. And I just wanted to be so-called normal. Okay? Because I felt
Normal.
I'm not normal, right?
Yeah.
So I never even looked at talking to entities as a gift, to be honest. I looked at it as a tool that gave me a little bit of lightness. Like, you know, how when you have a headache and you have a pill, you have Panadol or what is it? See, there's one more medicine specific in Indonesia where you eat for
Godrex,
headache because I've
Godrex,
eaten that a lot.
Godrex,
Okay.
Panadol.
So if you've eaten Panadol and
Tolak
Godrex
angin.
and you feel a little light, it's okay because it makes you functional, right? It's okay in the beginning to use the tools to solve a problem. It's okay. But more possibilities is when I stop thinking it's a problem, when I stop believing it's a problem, then I can ask, oh yeah, is this gift that everybody says it's a gift to have capacity with entities. If I'm willing to explore that more, what is available to me is a whole different world. I remember I was sitting with my sister, and my sister is so scared of ghosts. You cannot even say ghost like that. If you say Casper, also she will scream and shout. When she was young, she would cry till she couldn't breathe anymore, you know. So we were so scared to say ghost in front of her. You couldn't watch movies around her. You couldn't tease about, oh, there's something behind the sofa. You couldn't do that. She'll faint, okay? So we could never talk about ghosts near her. But she's still like that even as an adult. So now she's married, she's got children. Still, I cannot say the word ghost in front of her. So when she found out I'm doing talk to the entities, then she found out I'm teaching talk to the entities. She's like, don't bring any of that to my house, okay? So I'm like, okay. So when I'm sitting with her, we're all playing Uno, you know, just generally having too much fun. I felt like this wind come, you know, and I knew that, okay, there's an entity, but I cannot say anything. I cannot react. So I put a straight face, play Uno, pretend that there's nothing, no. But by now I've done entity work. I was also teaching. So I'd already done it for a long time, right? I'm very good at multitasking. I can play Uno and talk to the entities telepathically. Yeah,
Mm.
hi, who are you? What do you need? Okay, I'm playing Uno. The entity told me I have a message for someone. Okay. So I was like, do I know the person? Like, yeah, okay. So I was like, is that serpent over here? Because then I cannot give it right now. My sister's sitting. So no, no. And suddenly it said, open your phone. So I opened my phone. Okay, open my phone. I see Facebook, someone's profile. I was like, oh, you have a message for her? Yes, okay. She's not my friend, but I know of her because we've done some classes together. Okay, I look at the time. It's 11:30 at night. I said, it's too late to call her right now. I'll call her tomorrow. Plus, I cannot just excuse myself and call. Then my sister will be like, what is there, Appa? So I said, tomorrow, yeah? Okay, it went away. Next day, I went shopping. I forgot about the entity that I was supposed to give the message. I forgot. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm buying shopping, you know, swimming costume. We're going to a resort, holiday. Okay, let's buy. Suddenly, I start feeling intense, just the way you all felt when the entities were near you. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Okay. So
Mm.
I said, okay, guys, you do your shopping. I'm going to just step out for fresh air. And I was like, why am I feeling like this? Yeah. And I went out and suddenly it struck me. Oh shit, I was supposed to give the message of the entities. Can by now I had done enough work, so I
Yes.
know it. So I was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to give the message. Okay, I pick up my phone, I call that lady. And I said, hey, hi, I'm sorry, this is going to sound really weird because your father is standing next to me and he said to give you a message, something about forgiveness. I don't know if your father is alive or not, but I'm just taking a risk. That girl started crying so loudly. And I was like, shit, what did I do? Oh God, this is all wrong, you know? And she said, thank you, Sangeeta. I just came out of a healing session. And in that healing session, I did a forgiveness with my father. And I just told my father, if you've received this healing, please, can you let me know?
Mm.
And pas-pasan, right? She walked out of
Yeah.
the session and I told her the message. So she was so overwhelmed. And then I feel like this really big energy got created. Imagine a father couldn't move on because he needed to be forgiven by the daughter. The daughter couldn't move on because she wanted to forgive her father. Finally, I could bring her closure, and they were both so grateful. That girl was so grateful to me that somehow, I had tears in my eyes the amount of time she said, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I realized, oh, it's not that I have to do this work. Gila, I get to do this work. Look at what it creates in the world, yeah. Now, so I got goosebumps, on my body. I was like,
Yes.
holy shit, I get to work with entities and people and create a different possibility. Fuck, right? And you imagine, one of the questions Shannon asked in my class in one of the classes was, Sangeeta, how would you like to be treated when you die? Supposing you never got to see your children before you die and you just want to hug them one last time. In this reality, what do? Whoa, hantu, run,
Go
run,
away.
run. Exorcism. It's bad, it's evil. How will I feel if my kids do that to me? I feel really shitty, right? But we do that, right? In this reality, when you talk about entities and ghosts, what do? Run, run. All entities are bad. We never even ask, who is this entity? Is it related to me? Is it my father who just wants to say bye? Is it my mother who just wants to say hello? Is it my grandmother who wants to just bless me? And then I realized, oh my God, we live in such an unkind world. We are so unkind to these beings. Kasian, they're lost. Just like when I was lost, I went to my first bars class. I was so miserable, and my teacher said, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. You just made some shitty choices. Now you can choose something else. Langsung, I was like, really? I can change my life? Really?
Yes.
The enthusiasm. Imagine being that for entities, okay? So I thought, okay, great. This is where it goes, right? But the next thing that happens makes me realize this work is a gift because I felt the entity, I'm going to call him a ghost, that being, that ghost, he literally, for the first time, I felt a ghost physically. He put his hands on my head to bless me. My whole body melted. My whole being melted. I received gratitude in every cell of my body. I was like, holy shit, to be acknowledged in that way. After that day, I couldn't look at this work the same way. I couldn't say, I have to do talk to the entities. I was like, how blessed am I that I get to do this work? Yeah. And I really genuinely want to share it with people from that space, that you
Yes.
get to do this.
Yes. When I see my friends that she has a child like teenagers pass away and everyone cry and everyone like blame why you're so young to die. So pity to die young. And then when I communicate with the entities and I asking, are you choosing? Yes, I'm choosing. Oh, I just like I learned the access tools to be allowance for whatever he choose. And then when I'm be the energy, communicate with the entities, my body's goosebump. Just
Yeah,
like the entity said, thank you. You
yeah,
didn't judge me. How
yeah,
many people judge me because I choose to die young?
yeah.
And
What a
then
gift, right? It's such
yeah,
a gift. All of you, just imagine in the places where you thought you were most wrong, if someone came and was the space for you and told you, no, you're not wrong,
yeah,
it's okay.
okay.
Wouldn't your life be different today,
That's true. And
right? Wouldn't your life be, yeah.
yesterday, I go to the movie. I see the cinema Vina. Name is Vina. That's quite viral right now in Jakarta because she just get murdered,
Okay.
get raped, and then like someone possess Vina and then talking about that things, a lot of things. I just perceive like how many like being get like the energy when before he dies, she brings the own energy like trauma, anger, hate, and unfinished business. What I'm
Mm.
saying like that, and what can we be to facilitate all the being that traps on the trauma?
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing is you will sense these beings You may not acknowledge them, you may ignore them, you may ignore your capacity, you may ignore your ability to be aware of them, but you just did the exercise, so all of you know you're aware. You cannot not be aware. If you're aware of something, you're aware of something. You can just ignore it. The thing is, you are aware of entities everywhere. They're there in the airport, they're there in the hospital, they're there in cafes, they're there in old houses, they're there in certain roads. You know how when you go, you're traveling, suddenly certain road you'll feel scared, or you'll feel, hey, this place feels haunted, or it suddenly become very cold, right? Like all the time we feel like, oh, that's a bad place to be. But actually, it's just an awareness. Maybe there is an entity over there, and what you're feeling in your body, maybe the entity is feeling. You don't know, right?
Yeah.
One day I cleared entities in the airport. I got upgraded, babe. I got I was doing iseng. I was just aware of them. So I was like, okay, all the entities that are ready to leave, you may leave now. And I just run the clearing. And then I was standing in the car, I was standing for the, to get my boarding pass. And they kept shifting me. No, ma'am, that lane. No, ma'am, this lane. I was like, why are they shifting me again and again, And suddenly, when I got shifted to one lane, I was like, are you going to shift me again? He said, no, ma'am, I'm going to upgrade you because I don't have a window seat for you. You book a window seat. I don't have a window seat in economy. So I'm upgrading you to business all the way from here to Hong Kong, from Hong Kong to Australia. I was like, yeah. So how does it get any better than this? And I was like, oh, guys, thank you. I'll have more of this. Okay. So you don't know when you're willing to be the gift, you'll always be gifted.
That's true.
You can
That's
ask
true.
entities to gift you as long as you don't have a point of view, how that shows up.
Yes.
Okay.
The point is, we don't have the expectation, then we don't have any point of view.
Yeah. And also, like, the important thing to ask is, okay, is now the time? Because the earth is shifting. The line, the veils between entity world and our world is very thin. So now is the time to ask, oh yeah, is now the time? What would equipping myself with these tools create, not just for me today, but even after I die? When I die, if I have these tools, I can die in consciousness. I don't have to die in unconsciousness. I don't have to look at someone who doesn't know how to deal with entities and feel bad about myself. I can actually go, oh, they don't have the information. Okay, I can choose something else. Okay. So it's like these tools, when you use to heal yourself, when you use to upgrade yourself, it's not just for this lifetime.
True. You
Whatever
bring,
you choose, you bring it. You bring it
yes,
forth. That's what evolution is. Okay. Like, and people have different capacities, and no one can perceive entities the way you can. No one can receive entities the way you can. No one can communicate the way you can. So the first thing I learned because of talk to the entities, and this is because of practically using the tools, is, oh, I don't have to compare myself to anybody because I'm different.
and you don't need any validation from anyone.
Yes. Do you know what freedom that is? Especially if you're someone who needs someone to tell you you're right, you're good,
You're not
you
wrong.
do it, you're not wrong. And you get, oh, I'm not wrong, I'm different. Oh, I do it differently. Oh, this journey is about asking, what am I aware of? And how do I receive my own awareness? So I don't have to look at someone else. Oh yeah, Fena does it this way, maybe I need to do it this way. Oh, Sangeeta does it like this, she feels like this, so maybe if I'm not feeling like this, I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can learn to receive your own way of perceiving, knowing, being, receiving. And when you are somehow, people are more willing to do it when they're working with entities because there is more curiosity, there is more of an adventure. And then suddenly that can seep with people, that can seep with nature, that can seep with even money. And after all, it is talking to the entities, right? What is an entity? You start with beings without bodies, but it actually means everything that has a consciousness. You can talk to your house, you can talk to trees, you can talk to money, you can talk to the entity of a relationship and change it. right? The more you use these tools, the more you will become creative with it. You'll be using the tools to talk to your car. Like, if I park my car in a like an isolated place, I tell my car, can you take care of yourself? Yes. Okay, cool. Then I'll leave. If my car says no, okay, show me where to park you. Not in this lane, in that lane. Okay.
And when you resist about the entities, you're also the entities with the body.
Correct. Forgot about that one.
Um,
Yes, that's our invitation. I'm
yes.
coming to Jakarta for a few classes, but I'm very lucky because I get to co-facilitate the Talk to the Entities beginning with Vena. And if there are some of you who've done the beginning, would like to repeat it, or would like to move forward with the intermediate, I'm also facilitating the intermediate. And then Vena and me are doing the gorgeous facelift class together. And I'm also facilitating the bars. And all of that happens in exactly 10 days from now. I'm coming to Jakarta on the 4th, but things start on the 6th. We will share all the details with you. We have a meet and greet. We have TTT intro and beginning. We have intermediate. We have bars. We have facelift. Whatever is light for you, whatever will create more for you, please ping us. Please join us. I'd love to see, some of you, all of you, if it's light to choose. And here's one question that I will definitely leave you with. Yeah. Everywhere you're making money the issue, can you first destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Money is the byproduct of your choice. It is not the source of your choice. Okay? If so far you've been living your life only like, oh, when I have the money, then I will choose, then you are not willing to be the source of your own life. Okay? When I wanted to do talk to the entities, when I wanted to do foundation also, I didn't have money. Even for bars, I had to borrow money. At that time, bars was so cheap. I still didn't have the money. But I asked my body, if you really want to be in this class, just make it ease. When I wanted to do talk to the entities, I just said, hey guys, if you think I have a capacity with this, get me into the class with ease, joy, and glory. But you have to do your part. They can only contribute when you choose. When you're doubtful, they cannot contribute because your energy is like, mau ga, mau ga,
Can I?
mau ga.
Yeah.
You say, I want, they come to gift you. And then you say, but I don't know if I can do it. Then they have to hold back the gift. Then you'll be like, but I want. Okay, I will come forward to the gift. And then, oh yeah, but I don't know if I can do the gift. They will take it back again, right? They don't know whether they should give you or not. If you're confused, the universe is going to be confused. It's like, oh, for God's sake, just choose it, choose yes or no. It's okay. It's not wrong. It's just a choice, right? But when you say, I'll have it, no matter how, if not this time, for sure, next time you will be in a class. For sure, next time you'll have the money, but at least choose it. Your part is, I'll register, I will find out, I will see, okay, what are the ways, and then I will relax. And I will use the tools. What would it take? How can I be there with ease, joy, and glory? Right? My job is only, and this is not just with classes, anything you want, your job is just to ask for it, number one. Second, choose it. And then third, whatever point of view, thought, feeling, emotion, your conversation that is not taking you towards that, you must walk in for. If I want $1 million, but I feel like, dude, there's a bill of 200,000 rupiah and it flusters me, how will I ever get the $1 million? Do you think a millionaire will worry about 200,000? No. But I'm worried about 200,000. I cannot receive the million. I have to be the space, right? So I will use all the tools. I'm going to say it again. I say it in every class. I say it 10 times. The tools work 200%. You have to use it 100%. Not 10%, not 20%, 100%. Okay? You want to change your life? You've got to use the tools 100%. If you use 50%, you will change your life by 50%. You can't use 50% of the tools and say, all of my life will change. No, you have to use all the tools all the time if you really want your life to change 100%. That's just the way it is, right? So, is joy glory. But yeah, gimana, Fen? Do we still take questions or do we go, okay, see you later? What, guys? What do you want? You know, Fena and me are here for you
For
today.
me, for me, I have the experience when I ask the entities to contribute the money for me to take the CF training for talk to entities. So for about 6 months, I have the installment to pay for the talk to entity CF training. So a lot of the class prerequisite I would like to buy. So in 6 months, every weeks, I have the money to pay for the class.
How does it get even better?
Yeah.
You know, and I am sure. Today I was talking to a friend. I was saying, oh, I have a dream to work in a Bollywood movie. In an art film. I want to do an art film. So she said, yeah, I also want to do theater. Then I look at her and she looked at me and we both laughed. Why? Because I said, I wanted to become a CF, I became a CF. I wanted to become a mother, I became a mother. I wanted to fly across the world, I fly across the world. I wanted to do something, I did it. If I'm not doing this, do I really want to do it? If I haven't done it till now, then chances are it's not that important to me, or chances are that I don't really want to do it. So I can either acknowledge, oh, yeah, it's not that important, or I can make myself wrong that I really wanted this, but it's not happening. One thing I can give you with a surety, like you can take my signature on it and you can hold it against me. When you want something, you will do whatever the fuck it takes and you will make it happen because that's who you are. If you don't do it, it's because you didn't want it that much. So don't make yourself wrong. It's about, oh yeah, it's not that important. If it happens, happens. If it doesn't happen, doesn't happen. It's okay. Because I know when you really want to change something, you change it. Isn't that true about you?
Yes.
So please acknowledge that about you. You really want to change something, you will change it, right? Now the question is, would you also like to change the world? What kind of a world would you like to live in? Is it important to you? And maybe it's not important today. Maybe it'll be important 10 years later. I know I don't want to leave the world the way it is for my children. I know I want a more conscious world. I know I want a more kinder world. So whether anybody else chooses it or not, I have to choose it first. Okay? One step at a time, one person at a time. It's okay. If I can empower one person, I know I've done my job. Who else? What else? Right? If one person doesn't make themselves wrong for being a bad mother, I've done my job, right? Because now she will empower her children. I've not only contributed to the mother, but I also contributed to the future generation.
Yes.
Right? Your choices have a dynamic impact. If you can start looking beyond you, what is this your choice going to create for me, for my family, for my friends? Yes,
For
for
this
the
planet.
earth and for the planet. Every choice, even your choice to make tea a certain way, has an impact. Okay, it's like called the butterfly effect. When a butterfly flaps its wings in the Amazon forest, there is a tsunami in Bombay. That's how it is. You're like that. Every action you take creates an action somewhere else in the world. It changes something. If you know that you're that potent, how would you treat yourself? How would you talk to yourself? What would you choose? Okay. Wow, it's another class, Stefana. Yeah.
Money class.
We have to do another class.
Yeah, I know when you said about reusing the tools 100% means like for me, I catch up my mind when I said like I don't have the money. Oh, stop. Who's does this belong to? Is this mine? If I infinite being, do I choose this word? Do I choose what I am saying? If I'm infinite being, what would I would like to choose?
And in that second, you change your future. The minute you
Yes,
go like, oh yeah, like how Fena said, I don't have the money. Wait, 1 second. Talking about that, you've changed your future.
yes,
You've changed
exactly.
your future. And you're like, okay, wait, let me acknowledge for the money that I have. Right now in my bank, there is money. Right now, there is food in my house. Right now, oh my God, I'm so grateful. Now, how does it get even better than this? Right? So from I don't have money, and then that whole cycle of I don't have money, I'm going to create worry in my body, I'm going to create worry in my head, and then I will attract more to be worried about. Suddenly a big bill will come, suddenly the fridge will stop working, and then I'll have to spend the money on that. And then I'd be like, Uda, I don't have money. And then now the kulkas also mati. And then, after that, then you like this, it snowballs. And then when suddenly you are like, kasal, then you use the tools. Pock and pot everywhere. I don't have money. Everything I've created, pock and pot. That is also okay, right? When I started, that's how I was. Till I somewhere, like my back is against the wall, I will not use the tools. But when I said, oh yeah, I can either wait for this to become worse or I can start using the tools now. Then one day you will wake up, you are the tool. You don't have to use the tools.
You
You
know,
wake up.
yes,
Yeah.
when people said, no, you have the money, I hate the person. I said, they're so real for me. I don't have the money.
I know, I've been there too. I've been there too.
I
I've
mean,
been
it's
like
so
that.
real. I don't have the money. How can I say that I have the money to pay? And just like, yeah, I've been there too. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, guys, and money is actually one of the easiest things that changes in access. Like, so with the access tools, it's really one of the easiest things to change. It's actually one of the first things that change. So if you're not being able to change your money problem, chances is that it's not a money problem. So please start asking, is this really a money problem? Is this something else? Is it really mine, or is it just someone else's, something else's? What's really going on? Like is it really my problem? Because if you've used all the tools and it's not changing, two things. Either that is not the problem or it is not your problem. You're just solving someone else's problem. I always give this example, if there is something that's smelling really bad, but the dirt is in your neighbor's house, you can keep cleaning your house. The smell is still going to be there.
mhm.
It will not go away until the neighbors cleans his house, right? Now I can choose to put lots of incense and oil so that my house smells better, so that I don't have to suffer the bad, but I cannot make that smell go away. No matter how much I scrub my own floors, that smell is not going to go away because it's not mine. So if you have taken on someone else's money problem, no matter what you do, you can go to 10,000 money classes. It's not going to change.
So is that yours or someone else or something else? Or is that entities that pings you? We are talking about entities.
Yes.
And
My
for the class,
invitation,
yeah.
yeah, my invitation with this class is whether you have a problem or not, whether you are, today you all did the exercise, you are aware of entities. Can you use this to your advantage? Can you use it to create or get a greater life? Can you use this awareness to have more possibilities in the world? Yes. But yeah, you'll have to choose to work with the tools. You'll have to choose to educate yourself with the tools. You have to choose to be curious and discover and play. So, it's of course it's a choice that you'll have to make, like especially for people who don't have problems. When I used to attend class not because of a problem, they used to say, Uda, all your problems are solved, why the hell are you still doing classes? Right? You don't have a problem anymore, why the hell are you doing classes? Untuk apa? All that money you're spending for what? Right? If you save this money, you can buy a house.
Yes.
Right? And I'd be like, oh my god, every time I attend a class not to solve a problem, it expands my world so much. It explodes into different possibility. I suddenly begin choosing things that I never thought was possible for me. Okay. And that money that I save, I don't think I'll ever buy a house because the house is not important to me. When the house will be important to me, I will buy it whether I go to access class or not. If not this, then this is a lie. And the truth is this and this and this and this and this and this and this. I can have it all if you allow it.
Yes.
Okay?
True. Dama, hello. Well, Lauren, do you would like to say something or before we close the Zoom?
For those of you who's listening, just choose the class and you will know.
No, that's not right, Dama. You should say you shouldn't choose the class.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
shouldn't choose the
opposite one, right?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
choose the class, your life will change
The
and
next
become
to
greater.
choose.
Please don't choose the class.
Don't choose the
I see.
Uh,
I cannot hear.
All the entities are in Dama's house now.
Yes. Dhamma asks the entities to like move.
Yeah, just ask them to move away from your internet.
Back.
She cannot hear.
Okay,
I
done.
can hear.
We missed it. We missed everything because you were frozen.
Yeah, a lot of entities like wanted to listen to all of us.
Okay, all the entities that are with Dharma listening to this call, it's not free. You have to come, you have to bring bodies with money in hand, you have to pay for this class. Correct. How does it invest in this?
Yes.
Okay, guys, if any of you have any question, this is the last call. This is the last invitation that we will give you to ask a question. After this, I also want to eat dinner. Fena also wants to eat dinner. Otherwise, we'll eat you up. Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah. Entities is not about the entities, but it's about you too, about you creating your life. For me, like the first I know about entities, I creating a lot in my life, not just about entities. Yeah.
this consciousness includes everything. So
True.
if you resist something, and like, if you resist entities and there are more entities than bodies in the world, then you're resisting a huge part of what is available and possible in the world. Not just gifting to them, but also receiving from them. Not just receiving from them, but also gifting of them. And if all of you know, when you give something, don't you feel as happy when someone receives it? Don't you feel good when you can give something to someone? You know. So this is not just about entities. Actually, it is really, like Fena said, it's about you, right? It's about you being willing to include all of life and all of consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Including you receive your powers and your potency.
Oh yeah, don't tell them that. We don't want them.
Okay, done.
They don't
The
want
class
to.
is over.
People like being victims and having problems. Don't do that.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah. Mhm.
Does this
Go
belong
there.
to?
Tell them, Fan.
Okay. Yes, I'm a bet.
Very bad. All right, guys, before we bore you, we'll stop. And I hope to see some of you, all of you, um, in Indonesia somewhere. If not for a class, come meet me, come eat with me, come show me, like come chat with me. And of course, all those classes are there. We'll give you the information. And thank you so much for taking out your time, being here, being present with us. You all are a gift. And I've really had too much fun talking to you guys. And thank you, Fena. Thank you, Dharma, for inviting me. I'm so excited coming home after so many years. I haven't been home in a long time, so I wonder what I can contribute to Indonesia as well.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Dhamma. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.